From other parts of Africa, we tell you that Cameroon's President Paul Biya is set to extend his 4-decade rule after the country's Constitutional Council officially declared him the winner of the October 12 election. But the announcement has triggered widespread unrest and anger rather than celebration. Demonstrations broke out across major cities on Sunday, with police firing tear gas and opposition figures alleging violence and manipulation. Opposition leader Issa Tchiroma Bakary has rejected the results and claims he narrowly escaped an abduction attempt at his home. Joining us now from Washington, D.C., of course, is a Washington-based Cameroonian and an intellectual, also a policy analyst, Tabenyang Etchu, who will be sharing his thoughts with us on the news. Thank you so much, Tabenyang, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So were you surprised at the eventual outcome of the presidential election in Cameroon?
Not at all. As a matter of fact, I had predicted that this is the way it was going to turn out. It is a well choreographed process. There's no way you're going to be a referee and a player in a match of this with these high stakes and you lose. So it was just I think whatever you call an opposition in that country was just walking him through to the proclamation today. So really nothing surprising.
All right, so judging by the protest on the streets and the escalation of violence, do you think that this result was actually manipulated in favor of the incumbent?
Until provided with a contrary view, if the opposition parties that took part in the elections, for those of them who were at the polling stations, they should present the data that they have public. None of them has done so. And you could see that some of them are already congratulating Mr. Biya for being re-elected to the Supreme Magistracy. So it is difficult for us who are out not within the machinery of state to understand whether those votes were actually manipulated upon, which is widely held belief that it is supposed to be done. They have done so in the previous election cycles. There is no reason why you should doubt that something untoward must have happened with the vote counts.
So President Biya, at 92 years, will commence his 8th term in office. And his supporters say, why not? He has the experience. How would you react to that?
Well, it is expected from his supporters to say that he has experience. But if you look at his report card on the ground for 43 years, the state of the infrastructure is almost moribund. Most of the young people you see on the street, those who are even could afford that, are leaving the country in their drones. The hospitals are completely down. Education is down. Life is very difficult. The inflation rate is very high. So it warrants you to even beg for people to talk about experience. We are living in an Android generation with a lot of innovation, and we still keep talking about experience. What experience after 43 years? What is he going to do for the next 7 years that he has not done during the past 43 years? So it's tough for observers, people who have been following the political space in Cameroon, to honestly look somebody straight in the eye and say that this was the right move for the Cameroon people. It is not.
All right, so where does this leave Issa Tchiroma, who had earlier declared himself winner while the vote was still being counted?
Again, like I said during one of the analysis that I made here before the elections, the Cameroonian people are caught between a senile nonagenarian who is almost incapacitated mentally, and 10-code politicians like Issa Tchiroma. So it was the choice between, some may say, the good devil and the bad devil. He understands the system very well. You will not be surprised that he probably might be offered a juicy position, a ministerial position, or maybe even the speaker or the president of the Senate, and he will go in for it. He has done that in the past, not once, not twice. There is no reason to also rule out that he might not do that this time around.
All right, so finally, protests have turned deadly, and a Biya that we know would not relinquish power. What do you think will be next for Cameroonians?
Again, history teaches us that after an election cycle, normally you're going to have dissenting voices. All of these pockets of resistance and skirmishes, so long as they are not in a large scale, mass protests that could crumble the entire economic prospects of that country. The military is going to crush the protests down because they are not widespread. They are localized in some areas of the major cities. It is not like it's citywide. Today, if you were really expecting that something was going to happen, it would have been today. Those streets could have been barricaded. You would have had outbreak of either violence or mass protests across the national territory. But seemingly everywhere seems to be under control by the military. A lot of those young men that you see on the streets right now, some of them might not have voted because 8 million people registered. And from the statistics that have been given out, it's just about 50% of the registered voters who went to the polls. So there need to be electoral reform in that country and political education to make people, to really get the people to understand that there is a stake in deciding their own futures. As of now, these results really it's going to really do a lot of people being disappointed and disillusioned whether to actively continue to take part in the electoral process or not.
Okay. Thank you so much,
If you look at
Tabenyang
one
Etchu.
part of the country, the people...
Yeah, I understand. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us anyway. It was nice having you around.